This week, I was thinking about removing barriers. Barriers can be one of the biggest hindrances in business, whether they're psychological or physical. You always want to have the path of least resistance, and it's something that we think about in user experience design for a website. You want the fewest amount of clicks to get someone from A to B. So when I think about creating content for social media or for a YouTube channel or for any aspect of business, how do I remove those barriers that are holding me back? Welcome to the Marketing with Marta podcast, where small business owners learn how to simplify digital marketing and start showing up consistently. We talked about this in Accountability Buddies, which is my group membership. Essentially, it's a support group for small business owners to help you get more consistent for posting on social media. I post on behalf of my clients all the time, but my business is the one that often gets neglected first. So I started this in order to hold my own self accountable. But we were talking about barriers, and one of the biggest barriers for me is I used to live in New York. I used to go into the office every day on the Upper East Side. I looked great, was practically in a cocktail dress every day. And it was a different level of formality that was required. Now I live in Austin and I work from home. I have 2 dogs. It's humid here. It's hot. And quite frankly, most of the time I'm not changing out of my workout clothes, which I don't love because that's not who really I identify as, and that is my own struggle. But my hair is frizzy all of the time. And that to me was one of the biggest barriers with getting on social media, because looking at myself on camera, all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, man, look at that frizz halo every day. So I noticed that was a barrier. That was my own internal prevention of getting on social media. I shouldn't care. A reminder that I have to all of my clients whenever they're feeling self-conscious about seeing their face on camera is there was a dermatologist who gave this fantastic analogy. And she said, think about when you are looking at this stunningly beautiful sunset. It's so gorgeous. And then you take a photo of the sunset. And the photo of the sunset is just never going to do it justice. It's never going to be as beautiful as seeing it in real life. And so that's the analogy I always try and remind everyone. If frizzy hair is holding you back from getting on camera, then what can you do about it to make that less of a barrier for your business? So I used to get keratin treatments all the time in New York. So I was like, fine, I'm going to start doing that in Austin as well. Sure enough, much easier to get on social media. Then the next challenge I gave myself was to try and start dressing for work every day. Even though I'm not going into the office, I work from home, still with my dogs. But that was another thing that helped give a little bit more formality. So I felt dressed and ready to go on camera. Now, if you're someone who prefers to batch film, pick one day a week where you get dressed up, do your hair, do your makeup, all of that, and then just back-to-back film all kinds of content that you can roll out for the next week, month, or however long. But barriers are something that I think are not just that in appearance, but also your tech setup. I have it set up so I have my microphone ready to go. It's always charged. I have my software, and I have a ring light or some kind of lighting so that there's no barrier for me to record or get on camera. I'm not having to go through and find my mic or find that cord. Another barrier could be the format you're choosing. So maybe you're not most comfortable in video. One of my good friend's wives is a consultant for nonprofit companies, and she's incredible. I'll link her LinkedIn below if that happens to apply to your industry, but she writes fantastic LinkedIn posts. And she posted recently that she was having a really hard time getting on social media and getting on camera. And then she discovered LinkedIn in this short form writing that she does very well. She posts, I think, almost every day. And it was a realization that that was the most natural platform for her. And honestly, it makes the most sense for her business as well from a marketing perspective. If your audience is on Instagram and you are a visual business, then it is something to consider. But if it's not, why are you forcing a content form that's not right for your business? Maybe you're more of a long form writer. Maybe you want to look into Substack. Maybe you are cool on video, but you have a really hard time fitting yourself into the under 3-minute mark. So maybe you want to try YouTube. I do think that the platform or the format of how you most naturally create content is something to consider as a potential barrier. So think about what your barriers are. Are they something that you could maybe tweak, something small in your life, or make a investment in a, what do they call it? High maintenance to be low maintenance kind of way? Let me know what you think about that. I think it's a big thing for solopreneurs in particular, but I'm sure it translates elsewhere. But let me know what your barriers are. Thanks for listening to Marketing with Marta. If you like this episode, be sure to rate, review, and give us a follow. It helps more small business owners learn how to show up consistently and grow their digital presence. And make sure you don't miss out on any of our other tips and how-tos by subscribing to our newsletter at marketingwithmarta.com.